Yo guys, this vid is kind of overdue. I had to find a shady spot. But real quick, we're gonna go ahead and call this vid how social media monetization has caused um, toxic communication. So this, like I said, this vid is kind of just a self lesson too, man. When you're going through a situation that's going to involve um, family, loved ones, close ones, relatives, friends, co-workers, teachers, classmates, business, there's going to be times where you have disagreements. There's going to be times when you guys don't see eye to eye on things, right? Or there may be a misunderstanding. You may be someone who's misunderstood. And, you know, this whole thing people are doing now, not just a virtue signaling, but also this thing where instead of taking care of a problem, instead of taking care of a situation with someone in person, you choose to take it to the internet. And not only that, you see all the other features that come with that, and that could lead you, down a different route, also known as, making a, you know, becoming monetized. But it's toxic. It could be toxic to the people who don't understand that that was never really your initiative, plan, or motive in the first place. A lot of people who've had misunderstandings or they're misunderstood and all this stuff, there perhaps could have been a situation where you didn't see eye to eye with this person in real life. And you possibly could have tried to make this situation work out with this individual in real life. And then that is when, once that is, you can see that's not going to happen anymore. This is when we get into, into people now who are, and this is long overdue, everyone who's now preaching isolation, who's sharing their experiences on the internet now. And there's just all these new different ways to meet new people and, to communicate with people who see eye to eye with you. So there's a lot of pros to it. But the cons to it is you can clearly see when you're someone who's going to be diving into this perspective, there's going to be old people in your life who may not be into this, man, and they may not support what you're doing. And, there might be misunderstandings. There might be some things that people can't see eye to eye with you about. And, you've probably just grown from, these old family and friends, or you guys probably just, but it doesn't have to be this whole toxic, what's the way to explain toxic, yo? If you have a situation going on, but it's just a new way of things, man, because I'm trying to figure out, what is everyone looking at? What are you looking at on your phone right now? If you're not actually using the way they've upgraded social media now, if you're not actually using it for a business, if you're not using it to expand, if you're not using it to learn, then it's either you're doing that, or you're watching entertainment, or you're watching the things that people are creating or already setting up for events in the real world, So this is when we get into situations where you could have had let's call it a faulty starting point, or you could have had a starting point that was, not exactly the most positive thing, and you could say it's unfortunate, but depending on the way you want to, to maneuver around it, you can make this a very positive situation. Something I'm about to do. I'm about to have a live stream here, dedicated to a special someone. They say try not to mix relationships and business, but it's all about the starting point, man. So it's the way you look at it. This is kind of just a vid. It's not to say everything that's going on in our world is toxic, and I kind of hope you guys got something out of what I was saying. It's this thing where situations that could have been solved easily And it doesn't have to be this toxic, we're not friends anymore, we don't speak anymore, we're this whole enemy thing, with old family or old friends, or and this is generalizing, right? It could have been a situation where all you guys had to do was speak it out. But the individual who decided to take it onto the internet, and I'm telling you, man, I've had my experiences, I've had my faults with speaking too fast on the internet, bro, about a scenario that involves someone in real life, and now they're watching this and they're like, man, we could have just solved this in real life, man. We didn't have to take it this far. And now this big old confusion. Things look all, things don't look trustworthy on the internet as it looks in real life, or I don't know if he's, and all this stuff, man. But things like that will change you, and it's a good thing, I believe it's the way you look at it. It doesn't have to be toxic, and it could be a situation where we're making it more positive, depending on what you're trying to do. But yeah, there's a bunch of things to get into now. It's just, I'm an old soul, kind of, so you kind of miss the old ways of doing things, man. You're afraid. It could be scary when many different things, man. You guys see what's going on. If you're someone who's on the internet and you're speaking things, they can try to, there'll be people who will try to do things to people who or try to, it's a very scary world right now. That's what it gotta kind of mean, man. It's pick and choose what it is you want to broadcast, pick and choose what it is you want to express, pick and choose what it is you want to argue about and debate and differentiate, especially with people you love. This isn't something we want. We want a good community with a bunch of positivity and just full of nothing but love and respect for each other and motivation, and that's kind of the way we're going with things, so this vid right here is, try not to get, someone said the algorithm, the attention, the views, the money, it can all change you. This vid is to stay true to yourself, yo. Don't let social media, don't let the views and the, all this things that all this attention seeking and all these materials that you think you need in life to look a certain way. You don't need that stuff. You don't need to act out in a way that isn't you to receive these things. You don't need to point fingers and blame people and purposely outcast yourself just to get attention and cause all this toxic things when all you had to do was try to speak it out. Now it's different. I'm not hating on anyone who's out here kicking isolation. You're kicking, the people closest to you, they probably ain't the ones for you. It could be a situation like that, depending on who you are. Just kicking, you're getting with the right people, that's good stuff. But I'm just saying, try to settle your situations in real life with these real people, even if you don't see eye to eye to them. It doesn't always have to be this whole trying to get attention and, people, I understand that there's, situations where people really did what they did, and there's times where you're going to have to apologize for your actions too, That's straight up, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, how social media monetization has caused toxic communication. It's one of those things where you kind of have access to now. So, you could kind of be even in public areas and you'll see people, just doing things for attention. Communicating with their phone instead of communicating with the people they love around them and things like that. It's getting kind of weird, So it's really just kind of the intention and the motives. I'm not knocking anyone's hustle at all, but this is just kind of a word to anyone who, who may need to hear it. Stay true to yourself. Keep the loved ones close. If there's ever differentials, talk it out. Explain, the different angles. There's people who don't like to be spoken about on the internet, There's people who want their privacy respected. Make sure to respect people's privacy. Make sure to ask these people if this is something that they want to be a part of before you go just running their mouth. Now, like I said before, sometimes it's that saying, you gotta fight fire with fire. And if people disrespect you, or there's a situation where people are trying to do things to you, and then they don't want to be clean or be truthful and speak about real things in real life, you're gonna have to, this is what the internet is for, So, like I said, I ain't knocking no one's hustle. You guys stay true to yourself, and thank you for watching.